Since we're talking about AI and the very real burnout that it may silently be causing at the workplace, we've got someone who's been tracking these shifts very closely. Joining us now on the show is Ritik Bhattabyar. He's the Chief Technology and Innovation Officer at Mastech, someone who straddles the human side and the tech side of the transformation better than most. Good to have you with us, Ritik. Ritik, this study by the University of California, Berkeley, wasn't AI supposed to make work lighter and smarter and faster? But clearly, going by this study, it's doing the opposite for many people. They're talking about this feeling of getting overloaded and feeling rushed, even guilty about taking breaks. So explain to us why you think this is happening. What's going on inside companies that's pushing AI users towards burnout instead of getting more of that work-life balance that we struggle to get?
Yes, I think there are few points in that. First one clearly is that AI has brought in a always-on expectation. So AI can work 24/7. So there is a subconscious shift where human response times needs to mirror that kind of a processing speed. Second is, because the time, whatever gets saved with the AI-led approaches, there is this immediate filling up of that space with new initiatives or new activities, new tasks, and all. Third, I have seen that there is this massive rush for a fear of missing out kind of a journey, which has piled on more in making things very transactional. AI essentially has an underlying aspect of going deep. That's where probably the whole concept of intelligence part of the AI is where it comes from. But it seems like we have used it more transactional, more opportunity driven, and stuff like that. So the fear of missing out is actually creating a lot of load. And finally, the employees, because of all these first 3 points, they tend to get into a mode where they must overperform to prove that they're still more valuable than the tools.
Right.
This is what looks like is going on.
Right. So, I mean, at the outset, what you're suggesting is that there is this competition between AI and humans, and it seems like humans need to kind of keep pace with what AI can do. Like you mentioned, 24/7, AI can be performing, but can humans do that? And that's creating its own pressure. But building on that, what should employees and employers actually do about it? If AI is here to stay, and it is clearly, how do we use it without turning every worker into this 24/7 productivity machine? What kind of safeguards and what kind of workflows or even cultural changes do you think could help people get the benefits of AI without all this stress, the kind of stress spiral that we're talking about, which, of course, the study is clearly highlighting?
Right. And I'll try to touch upon each of those actors separately. So from a employer standpoint, instead of rushing into things, I think they're in a typically, if we take a back step, we start seeing that the entire process, operational process, or a business resolution through solutions process, it has pockets that need to be initially identified. And these pockets are where what can be transactionally done and what needs a bit more depth, bit more creativity. I think leaving the depth and creativity part is where we need to use AI in a particular way. And the transactional elements needs to have a differential way of using probably AI or humans wherever it comes to. Then there are clear areas where human-centric design thinking led approach is needed, and which probably will play a better part, and that also needs to be treated with empathy. Things like brownfield applications, brownfield scenarios, maintenance, those are the places probably we need to clearly curve out, saying that this is where human participation will make a better cut than bringing in AI. So that kind of a differential understanding at the decision level would probably be better for employers. Employees, they need to use AI as a junior intern. They need to use probably what I have seen, instead of really making it as the final frontier, if they use AI as a junior intern and keep the last 20% or the last mile for them to bring out the outcomes, it is much better driven, not the outputs.
Right.
It probably, I feel, would be a better package holistically.
Right. So
And
looking at them as a junior intern, I think that's a stronger takeaway. But we'll have to leave it there for want of time. But this is room for a larger conversation, clearly, Ritik. AI, of course, may be turbocharging productivity, but it still needs to match the pace of a human. And that balance is going to define the future of work. Thanks so much. Always a pleasure getting your perspective, Ritik. Thanks for joining us on India Business
thank you.
Report.